Show me what it's like to be circling among the clouds, because without you by my side I would be stuck here on the ground.
Hello everybody,
Welcome back to our channel.
and welcome back to another video.
First sit down video since story time.
Yeah, it is in the new house.
In the new house, we're going to do a Q&A for first time buyers. This is just our advice really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Answering questions the way we can answer them, because we don't know everything.
No, we can just give you our experience and our advice.
Definitely. Okay, so we'll just get straight into it then. Hey?
Oh, we're going to dip straight in.
Why not? Hey, make sure you subscribe if you like house content, because we've got a lot of it coming.
We have.
And follow our house Instagram and TikTok, which is home at 129.
Thanks very much.
Okay, ready?
Ready. Hold on.
You didn't clean them before we started.
No.
I thought this was a good one to start with.
Go on then.
Where the heck do you even start?
Good question.
Good question. So, where did we start?
We were just browsing a lot. We were like, as in like what, like the whole process.
Yeah.
So like, just look at what you like
Yeah.
first. Like find something you like. Obviously look within your price range, because there was
But
a lot
how
of
do
houses.
you know your price range? You need to get your mortgage and promise.
In principle.
In principle.
Not promise yet, babe. You're skipping a few steps ahead.
Right, okay.
So you got to
I
get.
thought that was the same thing.
No. Your mortgage in principle is what they could borrow you, and then your mortgage in promise is what they will borrow you.
Right, okay.
It's two different ones.
So you need your mortgage in principle to go and view houses.
Do
I mean,
you-
you don't need.
You don't need one,
nobody
because
asks for
our
it.
first house that we viewed, we didn't have one yet.
And if somebody does ask for it, like I think there was one time the estate agent asked and we said yes, even though
We didn't.
we didn't, wasn't it?
But what I would suggest is doing it online first, and then that gives you a rough estimate of what you maybe could afford, because we did ours online, just on the quick first time buyer calculator.
We were on
And
Halifax.
Yeah, so we did that first, and then it turns out we could actually borrow more than that.
Yeah.
But we had a rough idea of
Where
what
we
we
were
could
looking.
be starting at, so that's a good starting point to get it. Use it online, go view houses on that, and then if you like it, go through the process. Because there's no point looking at a house like that's going to be way out of your budget.
Because then you're just gonna let yourself down really, aren't you?
Yeah.
So this one kind of follows on from that. Did you use an advisor / what do you look for in an advisor?
Right.
So we didn't personally know anybody, did we, that's
No.
a mortgage advisor. So we went with what we know, which is who we bank with.
That was just more straightforward for us.
It's more comfort knowing that, I don't really know.
See, a lot of people do use independent
Yeah.
mortgage advisors, because a lot of them have better rates. A lot of them have like more insight and stuff. But when we first viewed a couple of houses, we got told, like we always got the thing, didn't we, of saying, oh well, we've got a mortgage advisor on here, we know these. Like they always try and make you go with their like mortgage advisor,
Yeah.
which is a more standalone,
Yeah.
smaller company.
Plus it's a more personal, if you're going with somebody you know, it's a more personal experience. Like I don't feel like our
Yeah.
experience was very personalised, was it?
No,
It was very like,
commercial.
yeah.
Like this is
Which
for
is
everyone.
fair enough. We went
Mhm.
with one of the biggest banks in the UK, so
Yeah.
it's fair enough, isn't it?
That
we
to
weren't
us was just
expecting.
comfort, wasn't it? It was just
It was
comfort, knowing
comfort.
it was like a big company.
Yeah.
It was safe.
We also
I
had
guess.
help to buy with Halifax, which just made more sense for
Mm-hmm.
us to do it with them.
Just wanted to keep it all in one place.
But basically, you do what you feel like.
Hmm.
We just did what we felt like was best, didn't we?
Yeah.
What was the other bit? What do you look for in an advisor? So we were just given our advisor. We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't pick.
We didn't pick.
Looking back, would you have wanted a more personal one?
It possibly would have made me feel more at ease.
Because I think, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like you've got more of like conversation
Yeah.
with a personal mortgage advisor.
And you have a lot of conversation with your advisor in the beginning,
Yeah.
when you're going through all your checks of your income and what else. What did we have a lot of contact with our mortgage advisor about?
It was just sending all the information over, wasn't it? It was just like, here's your mortgage in promise, here's what we can borrow you, here's the length of term. It was all just very like legal.
Yeah, and obviously if you watched our story time video, you'll know that we did this process of putting an offer in and starting the application for your mortgage, because you don't start your mortgage application until you've had an offer accepted. As soon as
Yeah.
you've had an offer accepted, you contact your mortgage advisor and say, I've had an offer accepted,
Yeah.
can we set up a meeting, which was long. It's a long
It was
meeting.
over Zoom as well, like not Zoom, but like that type of.
How long
thing.
was it? Like 3 hours.
3 hours every
and you
meeting.
just go through. And what did we even? You just go through all the legal, all your information, just everything.
Because it's like, because we were with the bank as well, like they, I don't know if it's the same with all of them, because I don't know if all of them offer the same thing, but like ours was so long, I think, because we got like talked about life insurance and home insurance, like all with the same bank.
Which we
So-
didn't actually, we wanted to do our own, which is something I'd say, because the bank was very pushy with
Yeah.
trying to get us to, obviously fair enough, go with them because, or who they, not go with them, it's more go with their,
The recommendations.
yeah, which is fair enough, but we obviously wanted to do it ourselves, but it was a long 3 hours, so every time you have an offer accepted, you've got to go through that whole application, because it's for a new, it's usually a new price, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because the interest rate changes all the time as well. So like if you get an offer accepted in one, like our
Period.
first one, we got an interest rate of one thing, and then the second one we got, it was completely different. So they had to do a new mortgage to see if then you could afford it based on the new interest rate.
Because how long did it last? Like 90 days maybe? Like 3 months?
6 months, I think it lasts for.
Oh, right,
It
longer
lasts
then.
for quite a long, like quite
Which
a while.
obviously for most people, hopefully you won't be looking for a house for that long, but
Yeah.
you just never know until you start, do you? So what was the hardest part in the process of buying a house?
Hardest process.
Hardest part?
For me, I would say the hardest part was not knowing anything and not having regular updates. Like our experience wasn't like what I thought it would be. Like I thought whenever something happened between like our solicitors and the mortgage advisor and all that, talking to each other, they'd come to us, but they didn't.
No.
Like we were in the dark about a
You're the
lot
one
of
who,
things.
which we did hear is the case, so it wasn't just us, it is the case that you have to, no one's going to come to you and tell you stuff, you have to
Yeah.
press them, because
You
you
need
think
to
at
push
the
for
end of the
answers.
day,
Yeah.
your solicitor and your estate agent and everybody involved are doing so many other, not just sell, like your solicitor doesn't just sell houses to this, or
And like they're working for you if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like you're paying your solicitors to do a service for you. So why wouldn't you like
Yeah.
constantly get messages from them and try and get conversations?
and if you don't push people, things don't get done.
Yeah. They
That's
will just
what we
leave
learned.
it for as long as possible.
Yeah.
That I would say that was the hardest thing of
I would
being
agree.
in the dark
Mine-
a lot.
Mine was like the like the not knowing, but that's one of my like things in life anyway that I don't necessarily like. I like to know
What's going on?
what is what, so that was probably the hardest part, I would say. How many houses were you looking at before deciding on this one? So we kind of said in story time, didn't we?
Yeah,
That,
we've had 4.
yeah, which doesn't seem like a lot,
Doesn't.
but it's because the ones we looked at we wanted that made
Yeah.
it a longer.
Yeah. It's because if you think about it, we were only doing this whole process for a year. Just shy of a year.
Yeah, it's
Which
just,
I don't think is a long time to have 4 houses.
it's not really, is it?
Not really in the grand scheme of things.
No. Is it? I don't know.
I think a lot of people can be stuck in a chain
Which
for
we
really long, but we were lucky enough to not have a chain, but it still took forever.
so we didn't have a
What felt like forever.
we didn't have a chain because we weren't living in a property that we were selling on to somewhere else. We were obviously living at my parents' house, and then the woman who owns this house that we're in
Owned.
now owned
We own.
the woman that owned this house, she was renting it out. So the girl who was here renting with her little girl moved out,
Yeah.
and then there was nobody living here, and the woman has her own house because she was obviously renting it out. So there was no chain, which obviously if you're trying to sell your house and then the house you're buying, they're trying to sell their house, or they're trying to move into another house so that they can
It
give
can
the
just
house.
last forever.
I can imagine that
Because like
becomes,
a normal no chain should normally only take about 12 weeks.
yeah,
Which ours doubled.
Yeah.
It took like 6 months.
yeah.
just shy of 6 months it took us.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I want to talk about before I forget is what somebody asked you the other day about the check. The conveyancing.
Oh yeah.
The survey.
The chartered surveyors.
Yeah, so when you obviously, what part do you decide that? When you're doing your mortgage meeting?
Yes.
You decide, you get like, was it like level 1
it's
and
like
level
different
2?
levels, isn't it? I thought there was 3 levels. Was
I
there
only
2?
remember 2.
Because I feel like there was a low, a medium and a high, like there was more expensive than what we paid.
Oh, I don't remember that. So the level 1 is a basic check where I'm not entirely sure what the check, but I just know it's very basic. And the level 2 one, which was like 500 odd pound, 595 was it? Something like that. That is the level 2 check where they do more in-depth checks. And somebody asked Nathan the other day, which,
like, what did you go for?
is it worth doing the more expensive one? And I would say it's totally up to you.
Yeah.
How. So like,
it depends how much you want to know about the house
If
itself.
someone said to you, look, the roof is falling down, and you would still go into that house and buy it. Because it's more so to decide whether, do you want this house? Have you got the money to put into it for the things that need like renovating or doing or need looking at or need work done? I'm so glad we did ours, because to look at the house, there was nothing wrong with it. But
that we could see.
But after getting the survey done, there were some things that if we hadn't have got it done,
could have been dangerous.
So one of the things was,
there was a roof tile, which is
just a simple. We can see that from looking at the house. There's a roof tile on.
As soon as it was pointed out to us, we were like, oh yeah. That's
just an easy thing.
It's not like structural, as in like the roof's got a hole in it or anything.
No.
It's just literally just a slipped roof tile.
Yeah, but the main thing, which we talked about in a vlog, I think briefly, was that they checked the flooring, and they found in the downstairs cupboard behind us that the tiles on the floor were asbestos
which
tiles.
I think is common
Yeah.
for a house, because this was like a 1970 something house, and back in the day it was like
that's all they used,
asbestos in the floors, because it was like a common material to use in certain structures.
Yeah, and in ceilings as well. In like the textured ceilings,
yes,
it's most likely
asbestos.
But the problem was that if you wanted to lift them tiles, if we didn't know that was there and we'd have seen them tiles, we could have just removed them ourselves, thinking, oh, let's get rid of them tiles, they're not very nice. So obviously that was an expense that we weren't prepared for.
Yeah.
So we did ask the seller, we said, this has come back on the report, because you're well within your rights to say, look, this has come back on the report, it's making me rethink whether we can afford to
or even if you want the property, because it's asbestos is not like a quick like killer type thing.
No,
it's like an overtime thing, but it's the safety of having something in your floor that you know is dangerous, and it's like, if that's there, do you really want to put yourself at risk of...
Because the woman before that lived here wouldn't have known it was there.
No.
And they also found that, so she, in the end, she straight away, she was
lovely.
amazing. She said, absolutely, yeah, we'll get rid of that for you. She got somebody in, they removed the tiles, but they also found that the tiles went all under the carpet in the front room. So that had to be removed as well, which, like, if we'd have, because we were thinking, oh, do we just get it done? Like, it probably won't. We were looking online at prices to get it removed in the downstairs cupboard. We were like, it's only a small cupboard, like, do we just get it done? Which I'm so glad that we went, pushed and asked, because we'd have had to do the whole of the living room then. It's like, it was like really...
There's a lot of basic stuff, but I think there was a lot of basic stuff that you wouldn't have got on the basic,
on the
if that
basic
makes
one,
sense.
which I'm glad that we know all these things, because we will...
It's just in case, so I've got like peace of mind that if something happens later down the line that was in the report, it's like, oh well, we kind of knew that was going to come up at some point.
Yeah.
Whereas if we didn't know and it happened, we'd be like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the facilities.
Because at the end of the day, you're putting a lot of money into this, into any house that you're buying. It's one of the most expensive things you'll ever buy, if not the most expensive thing that you'll ever purchase.
Except a child.
Except,
you don't
except
purchase a
long term a
child,
child. But it is so, why would you not spend, at the time it's like, oh god, is it really worth like £500 odd? Like we could put that towards like a piece of furniture or the decor, or like, oh we might need that for the solicitors. At the time you think that, oh do we really need that? But
Yeah.
and it is personal choice whether you would feel more comforted getting it or not. Is the house you've chosen what you imagined you'd buy in your heads?
Even more so.
At 100% what I thought
Like-
we would buy.
Like, I think it's more because I didn't
Get
think...
pins and needles.
Because I didn't think that this would be our price point from when we first started. Like, I'm not saying we've got like £1 million house.
Oh,
but
no.
I'm just saying, like, when we
Quite
first
clearly.
started, like, this is quite a lot of money difference from where we were.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, when we first started, we were like, oh, we can only afford this, we can only do this and that. But finding this one, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
we've got an arch and we've got a dining room.
We're
Like,
easily pleased, aren't we?
I
with,
never
like-
thought we'd have a dining room.
But we always wanted a dining room, didn't we?
We always wanted that extra
We always
room.
wanted a second room, but there's so many houses that don't have that second room, isn't there?
Yeah.
That'll have like a downstairs bathroom instead. That's the only,
Yeah.
that was the only thing about this house that we would have liked a second bathroom
second
downstairs,
bathroom,
but
yeah.
it wasn't a
But
deal
that's
breaker.
that's a privilege, isn't it, to have a second bathroom?
Exactly, that's just
Like,
us being greedy, really,
yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
yeah,
And that's only because we've got 2 bathrooms where we live now.
yeah.
It'll just be that, like, getting used to the
And
one bathroom, which is just sounds like...
Yeah, and I think as like a first home, like this isn't our forever home.
No.
So I think when you like move on in like the next 5 to 10 years, it's like, so our next house, we will look for a second bathroom.
Yeah.
Because at that point you'll have kids, and then having one bathroom for like a family
Yeah.
is, a lot of people do it, but it's like not the best
Not the most practical, is
practical.
it?
That's the idea.
But, yeah, like I said, a lot of people only have
lot
one
of people,
bathroom
yeah.
and... You,
Like the house before this one, we were looking at, we had 3
and then
bathrooms,
the
and that was like,
and then the first house, did that one only have one?
the first had not had 2.
Did it?
Yeah, it had the downstairs and the passage, and then upstairs normal.
Yeah.
Every house, I think, oh, the one round the corner only had 1.
Yeah. But, like, that was not a deal. You've just
No.
got to decide before you go in, I think, what is our, like, we had a lot of definite no's, like, we didn't want, as you walk in the house, we didn't want the first door to go into your garage. Like, the
No.
one we looked at over there, your first door in your hallway was into the garage. Like,
Yeah,
that's
like
just
that's
not...
just in the front room was at the back.
like
that.
another main deal breaker for us was having your stairs not in your living room, which a lot of houses have.
that would be my absolute deal breaker. If I wouldn't even go to view a house if I seen on the pictures that the living room had the stairs in it.
Yeah,
I
so
just
like
couldn't
at my
do it.
mum's now, the stairs are in the front room,
So there's no door.
so there's no door.
On the
So
front
when
room.
people are downstairs and you're upstairs, you just know everything that's going on.
the
You know, on the
telly's blaring,
telly,
like,
it's just
not the best ideal situation.
it's not like. No, it's not. So obviously we got the best of everything with
We've got
2
double
massive
doors.
double doors
Yeah.
to block out everything, didn't we?
Yeah, so
I've
find
lost where we were
so
at.
find your deal breakers when viewing a house. Like, don't view a house that you know you're not gonna like.
Yeah.
I would say, because we did that with the one over there.
And it
like,
just
we
kind
viewed
of-
it just to see a house. I think
Yeah.
we didn't go in
'Cause
thinking,
not a lot
oh, we
was
love the
coming
look
up,
of
was
that.
it?
No, so we kind of just wanted to see something, but we knew for a fact that we didn't even like it.
No, which was just a bit of a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, really. So I apologise about that.
What is something you wish you knew before you started / advice for first timers?
Something I wish I knew.
Something I wish I knew. Not everybody is as excited as you are, as in like the practical people in the process, and not as excited, and it can sometimes make you feel put like a bit of a dampener on your mood, because at the end of the day they do this every single day. It's their job to sell people houses.
Yeah, it's like,
so,
you know, exciting for you, but it's like just another day on the job, isn't it, for them?
so when they're coming across a bit like
Not asked.
not bothered, yeah, it's kind of like,
It's like, oh, it's taken a bit longer than you thought. Oh well.
yeah,
Like, and what?
like, oh, what's that then? It's nothing really. It's like, oh, like kind of takes a bit of the excitement out, doesn't it?
Mhm.
So that's something I wish I knew, that not everybody is as excited
Yeah.
as you
I
are.
can't think of what I think I wish I'd have known. Because I quite liked the unknown. I quite liked going through the process not knowing.
Yeah.
Because we've had people that go through it, like Charles. Like, we didn't get anything from them. Like, we didn't ask them, like, a lot of things about
questions.
What does this mean, what does that mean. Like, we kind of just went with what was happening.
Yeah.
So,
Which I think a lot of people do, don't they? Because, like...
everyone's experience is different.
It is, and you forget what to tell people. Like, you don't want to... Like, I forget what we didn't know, and now we know stuff.
Yeah.
I forget, like, at the very beginning, we didn't know things, like, even, like, terminology, like... like when like your mortgage advisor is saying a certain phrase to you or a word, and you're like, what on earth is that?
Mean? You're just kind of like, yeah. What have we just agreed to?
Advice for first time buyers. I feel like every question we're answering, we're giving advice.
Yeah,
so,
I think so.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh god. We've said that one. How long did the whole process take? So for us, it was around a year.
Around a year for the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this one. What are some of the hidden costs? I would say your hidden costs come when you're doing your solicitor's thing. So the solicitor breaks down every thing and adds money onto each thing. So we did the Help to Buy scheme, which means that we saved up money in an account, and then we got, in an ISA, and then we got 25% back of what we'd saved up. Yeah. To use the Help to Buys, we had separate ones each. To use them, we had to pay the solicitors to use them.
You had to pay for saving money. To help you buy
what else was there on, like, things like that, where it's like, what, you have to pay for that?
But it's like, also, like, on the solicitors things, they give you a breakdown of what you could possibly pay for, but you don't necessarily end up paying for all of it, but you also pay for things that you didn't think you'd pay for.
Yeah.
So you just get a set, right, this is what we could charge you. Could be more or it could be less, so you don't really know what you're paying for until you get to the end, until you get your bill.
Yeah. I would say, what other hidden costs are there? I don't think there's necessarily any other hidden costs along the way.
Not along the way necessarily. It could be a lot of hidden costs of, like, when you move in. So based on your surveyor, like we've talked about, you could get the basic and then find out that if we had the asbestos, that would be hidden. The asbestos, I would say, if we didn't get that done, that would have been a hidden cost because we didn't find out about it until we would have possibly moved in and changed the type. Like, that could have been, like, years down the line that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
So that could be a hidden cost, depending on.
And I feel like when you look at, we looked at this house twice.
Twice, yeah.
Twice. We viewed it twice before we obviously have moved in. There's things when you're in that you do not notice. So, for example, the things I would say that are hidden costs for us is the sink. I didn't look at that sink and think there was anything wrong with it, but it's a resin sink. And it stains, like, the water droplets stain the sink. Like, I don't know if any of you have a resin sink.
Like, it looks alright, like, it looks nice.
If you like, if you...
But it just, you can't clean it, because if you clean it and wipe over it, it stains.
And obviously without a dishwasher for us, we're going to be pot washers. There's just, it's not going to be practical. It's not going to be practical, is it?
It's really not.
So that's a hidden cost, because we're going to have to redo that. The tap is also a nightmare when you turn it on. Yeah. So that's another hidden cost. We opened the back gate, it fell off. It fell off the hinges.
Oh yeah.
That's something you wouldn't have known, because
you don't really know whose fence is whose. Like, is it this house? Is it the neighbour's house? So that could be a hidden cost if you want to build your own fence.
Yeah.
Like, your trees outside. Do you want to get rid of them? You can't, so you need to buy something else to cover it. Like, there's a lot of things. It's not like the worst things in the world to, like, sort, but
it's just
things you didn't know.
It's just things you don't notice that you would be like, I'd listen to people and be like, well, obviously you would notice that, but you don't when you're having like a 20-minute look around a house. You're not. You're taking in whether, does this feel right? Can you see yourself living here? Because when you leave, kind of thing, you've really got to start making your decision. Do I want to put an offer in? Yeah. You don't want people to beat you to it. Oh, it just went dark. The sun's just got in. Yeah, you don't want people to beat you to it, because that's another thing, isn't it? That as soon as you leave your viewing, it's not something you can... Well, this is my personal opinion. You can't be very just... No, well, we'll decide in a couple of days.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people do that, don't they? Where they come back and view it again, go back, view it again. Like, I would say, don't be rash with your decision.
We're very rash people, aren't we?
Yeah, like, at the same time of, like, taking your time. Don't rush in to like, I love it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to
Because
put an
people
offer
are
in.
trying to pressure you and want they're into making a higher offer or like...
And also, you don't... I've learned that I thought when we first started, like, you had to put a higher offer in.
Yeah.
You don't.
No.
Like, sometimes it's better if you... I think it's better if you do, because obviously if you really want the house, you want to beat somebody's offer. But I think at first we were like, we're going to have to bid like way higher.
And what you've got to remember is we
expected.
bought a house in a very difficult time, like when the cost of living's going up, the mortgage rates are here, there and everywhere. Like the housing market was a mess when we were buying.
Started,
yeah, so that was kind of, we had that pressure to put a higher offer in, where usually, like, Charlotte and Matty, I know they put lower in. I don't think they'll mind
They
us
put a
saying,
lot lower
because
in,
I think a lot of people would, you offer lower and they can come back and say no, yes, and they'd be like, oh well, we can offer a bit higher because we've went a bit lower.
Yeah.
We went as high as we possibly could.
We started with our maximum, like,
and hoped
what
for
we
the
could
best,
do.
and it obviously worked out for us. So
Yeah. Seriously
oh, it's
happened to us
11:11.
twice. Make a wish.
Make a wish. Right, let me find some more questions. Everyone's just wanting one piece of advice.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Just totally take your time.
And just remember that it doesn't matter how long it takes, because it's gonna come in the end.
Yes.
Your house that's meant to be yours will come in the end, and if something goes wrong or if something's not the one, you
wasn't meant to be.
look back and think, you start picking out like,
Because we
oh,
did that,
well,
didn't we?
We did.
Like, whenever something fell through, we were like, oh, well, that was there.
That was
and we didn't
rubbish.
really
Like,
want
that wasn't very good. Like
So
that.
it happens for a reason.
Oh, sorry,
This
the
lighting's
lighting's
meant-
going
Sorry,
crazy.
I'm scowling a lot in this video. I'm not angry.
I
I'm
think
scowling.
I am. I think
I'm
I'm
like,
frowning.
just take your time. No,
What
but
was I saying there though? Kind of like when you're in love with somebody, all the bad things are blurred. What's that phrase called?
like
Love-
you love
goggle. No, what's
blind
that?
love.
Blinded by love.
Goggle love.
I can't remember.
Love goggles.
Is it blinded by love? That's
blinded
it.
by love? Yeah, that sounds right. I think.
You get blinded by the desire to
Yeah.
want to be in a house that's,
Yes.
because it is exciting. But that doesn't mean that you kind of block out the bad things,
negatives.
because at the end of the day, even though you're on Rightmove and you're like, nothing's come up for 2 weeks, plenty of houses come up all
Yeah.
the time. And I just think we're quite big believers in that everything will happen when the time is right. So
Yeah.
a house will come up that's right for you. You've just got to be patient.
You do.
Patience is key, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the
Take
whole
your time.
process.
Just take your time.
Yeah.
Just let things happen the way it's meant to happen.
Okay, what are your decorating plans with the house?
Every room is going to be different.
Every
There's
room.
not going to be like a certain theme
Through
that'll
the whole
stay
house.
throughout the whole of the house. Like every room you walk into, you'll have a different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to put how we're going to decorate. Every room will have a different experience.
Yeah.
So if we just quickly go through, we'll say the front room,
LA, Miami,
Miami,
colourful. Like
colourful.
this is where you're going to feel so much like, what's that word that gets
Dopamine.
released? Dopamine, yeah.
yeah,
That's that.
like greenery, happy, like happy but cozy. Like it's still got
Yeah.
a cozy vibe to it, but it's fun, it's exciting, it just makes you
It'll
feel
just make
something.
you feel so happy
Yeah.
when you're sat in it.
Yeah.
Dining room is going to be Moroccan themed. It's going
Yeah.
to be like namaste, like type of vibe.
Tiled,
like, yeah,
like plants, patterns.
yeah, holiday vibes.
Because when
like,
I say to people like Moroccan, they're like, "What does that mean?" I've
Yeah.
said that to a couple of people, and they're like, "What do you mean Moroccan?" Like, should I? If you literally search Moroccan,
like I've always
on
wanted a
Pinterest.
Moroccan themed room somewhere.
Yeah. For the colours, colourful Moroccan, we should say then.
Yeah, it's going to be like that type of vibe.
Yeah. Lots of like greens and teals and oh god,
Oh, that's how it.
that describes it perfectly.
That's our dining room.
Search on Pinterest colourful Moroccan decor and you'll get the vibe. I'm going to print screen that because that looks incredible.
So that'll be our dining room. The kitchen is going to be like, that's going to be like a classic, just like
Yeah.
black, white, and green. Like that's going to
Black,
be like
white,
the,
green vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Wooden.
nice, clean
Yeah.
type of room.
Yeah.
Oh,
I found some really nice prints for the kitchen, but
have you?
let me show you.
Love that. Love that.
Can we see them? Pasta and pizza prints. I just thought they were really nice.
I love it.
And this, oh, I found this morning.
What is that?
It's a book, right? Like a coffee table book. This is the one that I like. That one.
Oh yeah.
But it's just opens up. It's like not like a book. It's like a box.
Alright.
I thought we could put the TV remote in.
Oh, cute, right?
It's like a coffee table decor, but it opens up.
That is cute.
I thought that was dead cute.
Cute.
Bathroom. Bathroom is pink and orange, white, green. Kind of just like the main focus will be pink and orange.
Yeah. And before anybody even says, because I know a lot of people do say this about men and women living together.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's colourful decor. No, Denny's not making me. And yes, I love colourful decor as well. Okay, so that'll shut you up. Yeah, thank you.
And I think it helps as well that we're having different in every room.
Yeah.
If we were just like the whole house is going to be like a certain thing, or the whole, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be, I feel like then we would.
Like, we don't follow trends either. Like, we don't, I mean, there's certain things that, yeah, we like.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like everybody has the same front room. Like, grey was like in, and it still probably is in.
Yeah.
But like
it's
everybody,
kind of going towards like
it's more like
neutral wooden, like the black and cane, all that now, isn't
like,
it?
Yeah, but like I like it, but I just don't want my whole house to be that.
Oh, no, like the. I couldn't imagine your whole house. Like, you've got so many rooms to play with, but then I guess
Yeah.
if you're not really into like decor
Home
and
decor
styling, then you're not.
yeah.
It wouldn't excite you. So what's the point, kind of
No,
thing? Like, it
exactly.
really excites us, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love
I
it.
feel like we were meant to be interior designers in
Yeah.
another life.
So yeah, I love the colour, okay? I love our fireplace. It's bright pink and checkered board, white and pink. And I love it, so thanks. Bedroom
Wait,
is...
the bathroom, I feel like will be one of them rooms. I've decided in the bathroom,
I know.
I'm doing, I haven't told you this yet, I hope this
Alright,
is
I
alright,
know.
a pink and orange zebra wall. I think that's going to look cool.
Awesome.
I think that's the mural I'm going to do in the bathroom.
Cool, can't wait.
And the bathroom, I feel like will be the room that gets changed up the most. Because it'll be so easy. Because it's just decor bits.
Yeah.
I feel like every,
just
like,
change.
yeah.
Bedroom is, I know we've just said like, oh, we don't really follow trends, but this isn't a trend, right? It's not a trend.
It's not
It's-
a trend. It's basically me. It's my personality,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's like, we love like cowboy, like saloon, Western vibes.
Boho.
Yeah, like rattan, like lampshade and
What else?
wooden wall.
Wooden cactus,
yeah, like that
desert
type of,
vibes, like all
yeah,
that.
like that type of vibe, don't we?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the bedroom. Your office is going to pretty much stay the same as what it is now with the wallpaper.
I'm struggling with my
floor.
office. I feel like I'm gonna go for, because my office now is black and white. But I feel like my brand is colourful, so I feel like I
is.
need to go colourful.
You're going to keep the wallpaper on?
Yeah, the wallpaper's staying, but I
Yeah.
mean like with the artwork.
Like that, yeah, like the back wall where your chair and that's going to go. It's gonna
Yeah, do I go like just colourful prints maybe? Because that is my brand, is
That is
colourful,
your brand,
isn't it? My
yeah.
logo is rainbow, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like...
Go for bed, that's your space.
And I feel like I'll be able to live out my cow print dreams in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
we've
we're having
got-
a cow print fridge.
We're having a cow print fridge until we get bored of it. But it's something I seen ages ago on Pinterest, and we were just like, I was like, babe, how do you feel about a cow print fridge? And
I went,
yours just so easy.
Go for it. Love it.
Nathan's just so easy going. He's just like, yeah. Because I
Do it.
feel like you trust my visions.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't have confidence, if I was like, I kind of think for the fire, like, I don't know, should we do it like pink, but like, maybe like a checker, I don't know. I feel
It's-
like I come confidently with the ideas, which makes it, you trust my vision for things.
Yeah. And imagine if I'd like turned around, like, it's so good that we work so well because we have the same taste.
Yeah.
And it's like, imagine if you said to me, I'm going to do the firing table, like checkerboard, pink and white. And I just turned around and was like, absolutely, not.
And at the end of the day, the paint colour is called My Husband Said No.
Yeah, so you just do it anyway, don't you? So.
You just do it anyway.
Yeah.
No, because I feel like that could cause a lot of arguments.
Oh, decor, 100%.
Like, imagine if I'd have been
100%.
like, babe, I love grey, like, please can we get a grey sofa? Can I paint the fireplace grey?
Absolutely
And then I'm
not.
thinking some, like, grey artwork on the wall. And then
Absolutely
imagine if you were like, I love silver. Silver, everything. Can we get a
like
silver
glittery,
table?
Like, Oh, that velvet thing, crushed velvet. No
sorry,
offense, no
I'm
offense.
sorry. That was
Dinny.
rude. That was rude.
No offense.
No offense.
But crushed velvet is rank.
we don't enjoy
Personally,
We've got a crushed
opinion,
velvet our bed right now. Bed frame is crushed
so
velvet, and
ugly.
it's just not the one.
It's just not the vibe.
It's not, is it?
But yeah, so every room in the house is going to just have a different feel and a different vibe when you walk in, and it's just going to be so
And I'm very
nice.
excited to do the garden. Maybe, I don't know if the garden will get done this summer or next summer. I feel like a bit of it will get done this summer, like
Yeah.
just maybe some plants and
Like, I would
things.
love to do our garage out. Like, I really would, and I'd love to do our loft.
Yeah.
Like, they're like big projects that I'll have to cover.
But like, I feel like
down
with
the
things
line,
like
but-
that, like, I struggle with, if it's not your forever home, putting so much into
yeah,
it.
but then you've got to think,
Are you undoing my top?
No, I'm just twirling it. You've got to think, like, this is our house, so eventually this isn't our forever home, so we're putting value into the house so that when we sell it on, we can get a better house.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
So, like, it's good to do these things. As long as you don't start doing it and then you wreck everything and then your value of your house just goes down.
Yeah.
Like, I think adding value to your house is never a bad idea.
No, because I'm currently thinking whether I could paint the brick on the garage and then paint it, like, do something to it, and then when it comes to selling it again, paint it back orange as if it never happened. Can you buy brick colour? Because I'm
Yeah,
questioning
you just buy,
it.
like, spray, don't you?
I think so, I'm not really sure. I need to look into that.
But yeah, because the garage used to be like kitted out with like work surfaces and like it's got electrics and all that in it, so it is a functioning like workspace. But it's just Dinny wouldn't go in there.
Because what I worry about is,
Spiders.
yeah, and obviously I work with clay as well, and you can't, like, the temperatures in the UK are very unpredictable, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to, like, ruin it, and, like, I couldn't leave my paints out there, like, my paints would go, like, there'd be no good, so I'd be
But
like,
if I get underfloor heating and like central heating system, like
yeah,
don't worry, babe.
you
Like,
get me things like that then, absolutely.
absolutely, and I'll build like a walkway going to the garage, so you don't have to step outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right, let me
absolutely.
just check, because I kept print screening the questions, they're all in different places. How much did you have to save for, and how long until you could actually get to the buying stage? A while.
Yeah, it was a long time. Because it took a long time because we were saving at first like not a lot. So like from starting to save, we were only putting a little bit of money away.
You can only put away what you've got, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Like our Help to Buys, we weren't putting the maximum in from
No.
the very beginning.
No.
Like I was putting less in mine than you
which
were in yours.
we regret.
Yeah, like if by the time if we started when we should have, we could have had a lot more money saved up in that Help to Buy to get 25% on it.
Yeah.
Um,
And you can only save for how long you can save for until you
yeah.
get to the.
If it takes you 5 years, great. If it takes you 10 years,
And
it doesn't
something
really
we're
matter how
grateful
long.
for, obviously we thought we'd have been moving in January, which would mean that we'd have had less money, because I feel like we've forgot to point out in the vlogs, it looks like we're doing a lot straight away, like we've been able to buy a lot of the decor bits straight away, but that's only because we've had an extra 3 months of saving,
savings,
because
yeah.
we thought we were going to be in January, we ended up being in the beginning of March, so
Yeah.
we had that extra time, the extra couple of
to
months.
save up more.
What room are you most excited to decorate?
Like I can't wait for this front room to come together.
I feel like I can't answer this question because I know already how I'll answer it.
I'm gonna wait. I'm sorry.
We're nearly done.
I'll be right back.
Oh God, we're
I'll be
nearly
right
done.
back.
I feel like I know I would answer that question. I'd say I'm so excited to do the front room because I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
The bedroom I'm very excited for because it's very different to anything that I've kind of,
Had before.
yeah, the
Moroccan.
Moroccan dining room, because I feel like it's going to be the most like
Eye-catching, like
impactful room.
yeah.
when
That's
we
where the
find,
incense
like-
is gonna be.
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
find the perfect like
Mm-hmm.
flooring and paint colour and decor bits.
Yeah.
Totally.
Totally.
So yeah, I feel like that we've talked for ages.
Hope we've given you some good advice.
Advice, yeah, we can only tell you what we know from our experience, but
Yeah.
hopefully it helps anybody that's looking. And if you are looking and feel like you've got nobody to ask the silly questions to, like there were some questions that we just needed to ask somebody, but it was like they sounded so
Like straightforward.
Yeah, like,
well, obviously.
well,
that's
how do
that.
we not know that? Like a certain word, like, well, everybody else must know what that means because
Yeah.
nobody's explaining it to you. So if you do have any questions, we don't mind
that.
answering as
Throw them
best we
away.
can. But other than that, hope you enjoyed.
Thanks for
the camera's
listening.
gonna die, so we'll see you in the next video.
See you in the next vlog.
Bye.
Bye.